Hello, good day and welcome to this channel. This is Clinic Wahala by yours truly, Dr. Ķïłlèř. This is a channel, an avenue to enlighten and teach people about their health and healthy principles. Yes, in the most simplified and basic manner, so that everybody and anybody can understand and utilize the information for a better health. It's also an avenue to cast away and dispel all the fears that people peddle around. Many people know so many things. They have so many theories about health and the problems, thereby instilling fear into everybody. So this channel helps to bring forth the truth about all these things, and also help you to make better decisions for a healthy tomorrow. So if you are here, kindly click the like button, subscribe, and also share this channel and this resource to your family and friends so that they can be part and parcel of this. Thank you. All right, we will delve into the first topic that we have for this time and this period. Yes, I'm a medical doctor who has a bias for cardiovascular medicine. What does cardiovascular mean? Things that has to do with the heart and the blood vessels. So the commonest problem in this my area is what we are going to start with today. And it's not just common in my area, it's also very common worldwide. As a matter of fact, more than 40% of adults in the whole world, that's if you see your friends, if people are 10, 4 of you will likely have this condition. So it's that common. It's non-communicable, as in you can't transfer it from one person to the other, but it's something that is everywhere and causing plenty problems. So people have many theories about it, some good, some bad. Some have put people in serious tension and panic because of it. So that's what we're going to be treating today, and that's hypertension. That's hypertension. So many of you, virtually everybody, have had hypertension. Some call it hypertension, some call it high BP, some call it raised BP, all meaning the same thing. So like I said, we'll make it as basic can be. So yes, we are treating hypertension because many complications we see. Many of us have been to the ward and to the emergency rooms. You will notice that a lot of people have stroke, a lot of people have heart failure, some have heart attack, what we call heart attack, and so many other problems. Kidney failures are everywhere. So one of the central things that causes this is hypertension. So that's why we're going to start our discussions with hypertension, so that everybody will follow. It's difficult to get to any house, nuclear and extended family, and you don't see 1 or 2 people who are hypertensive. It's very rare. Before they will say it's for the old people, but it's quite unfortunate that now in our clinics we regularly see people who are even in their 20s with hypertension. Is that rampant? Is that common now that we need to look into it? All right, so let's head straight to it. Hypertension can plainly be defined as a raised blood pressure. If the blood pressure is raised, it means that there should be a normal blood pressure. And many of you have checked their blood pressure at some point. Some will say they told me it's high, others will say normal, others will say it's low. So hypertension is dealing with the high one. Okay, for the basis of this talk, or for the purpose of this talk, we will be taking the cutoff to the 140/90. So if you have checked, there's something when you go to the hospital, they tie something on your hand. Some will call it a blood pressure machine. Like I said, we make it as simplified as possible. Blood pressure machine, technically called sphygmomanometer. So let's call it a blood pressure machine for this purpose. So it's tied to your arm, and the BP is checked, and they'll tell you it's 140/80, it's 120/70, and all. So if you have had that experience, which I believe virtually every adult should have, at least once in a while you should check your BP, blood pressure, to know what it's all about. So you have checked it and they've declared whether it's high or low. So for the purpose of this discussion, we'll be saying that it is high when it's above 140/90 generally. There are many more technicalities to this, but we are going to be using that as a cutoff. From the studies, our own studies, you will know that many countries have many cutoffs for this hypertension. So some people go as low as 130/80. Some people say if you're even passing 125, you're already entering there. Americans have their own, Europeans have theirs, Canadians and Africans, even Nigeria. So, but we'll be using 140/90 as the central point. So when we have values that are 140 or that 90, you're really talking about hypertension. So it means that we should aim to bring our BP should be below these numbers to be on the safe side and avoid plenty complications that come with hypertension. So we'll just say that's hypertension. That's what it is. BP of 140/90 and above. So that's hypertension. So but normally back then into science books and biology books will tell you that 120/80 is the desired BP blood pressure we all want to attain. So it's important that we maintain a good blood pressure. Very, very important, because hypertension, just like diabetes and some other problems, can affect from the head to the toes. There is absolutely nothing it cannot harm or destroy. So it's important that we keep this in check. And like we mentioned, the numbers are quite high. More than 40% of every adult, all the adults you see, if you count them, 4 and above have hypertension. And it doesn't spare anybody. Even doctors, amongst us doctors, nurses, is there. So over the years, the numbers have increased. That's the truth. They have increased. It wasn't like this before. When we were younger, you get to 40, 50 before they start talking about checking your BP and hypertension. But now, as early as 30, they're really talking about that. Even 20s have raised BP, hypertension. So the problem has actually gotten bigger over time. And the good news is that hypertension is something that, yes, you may not be able to treat it. Majority of the hypertension are not completely treatable. There are some that, of course, if you take out what is causing it, you may treat it. But most of